to episode 121 of Floating Through Film. It is your host, Luke, and today it is the final week of our early Jean-Luc Godard series. And to round it out, we are going to do the two films, Weekend and I almost said Le Petit Soldat. Tout Va Bien. You see why? They're like both French titles. Yeah. Like 3 words in it.
Well, we were just talking about Le Petit Soldat.
Yeah, so. True. Yeah. But yeah, before we get into it, I'll introduce my co-hosts, Danny.
Hello.
And Blake.
What's up?
And honestly, I'm interested in talk about both of these, but especially Weekend. Because honestly, this movie's fucking insane. Like, one of the most unhinged movies, angry movies I think I've really ever seen. I mean, there's a lot to talk about here, but before we get into it, let me ask y'all your thoughts on Weekend. Because Blake, you haven't seen it before.
I haven't seen it before, so I it's a lot, honestly. Weekend's like a lot, but I do like it a lot.
A lot for a first watch too. I didn't really love it.
A lot for a first watch.
I didn't.
There's
really
so
like
much.
it.
There's just so much going on in it.
Yeah.
And like I honestly I related a lot to my first watch of The River, where I know I liked The River a lot, but it was like so dark.
You know it's gonna be funnier on rewatch.
Oh, I thought the thing is, I thought Weekend was hilarious.
Yeah,
I thought
exactly.
Weekend was fucking hilarious,
it's hilarious
until it hit about the halfway point, and then I was like, okay, it's getting really, really dark. But I can still see myself thinking that part gets really really funny later. But I like, he's definitely just like super angry at fucking everything, man. Like, and it comes through on screen, and it's just like, I don't know. You're gonna have to explain a lot to me, honestly, because like I don't understand like everything that's going on in this. I just know he's basically done. But I just know he's basically done. So
yeah, it's he's not trying to make
he's
a
done with
coherent
cinema.
thought, like, as we talked about the whole time.
Yes, exactly.
Like,
but yeah, no, I did actually like really like it for a first watch though.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
It's a movie where like I see the anger you're talking about, that Blake was talking about, and I think I liked it a little more because I gave it a 3 the first time I watched it.
Damn. I think I gave it like 2.5 the first time I watched it.
But I still don't love the movie.
Okay.
You know, it's like I don't know, like the critiques it's making I really agree with, but it's like there's 2 directors that came to mind, and especially like certain movies. Can you guess one of them, or you could probably guess? Like this kind of critique of... Okay, yeah, that's a good point. This kind of critique of the bourgeois... Like, this kind of critique of this class.
Okay, Buñuel.
Buñuel, for sure. The one
yes.
we just talked about. But there's another movie that honestly comes up. And honestly, it's another director, too, that also does this in his own way.
Like, you have to give me a hint.
Tati.
Okay.
Traffic, dude.
Okay, actually...
Like, especially that... I was just watching this movie again, I was like, man, I Traffic a lot. But it's like... Tati has a lot more just love for people. And just, like, and Godard does, too, in certain movies. It's just
He
this one
hates
is like
he hates everyone.
Not this one. Godard just like he hates these main leads.
Yeah, he like despises everything.
Yeah, and that's where the Buñuel thing comes to me.
Yeah,
as well, because Buñuel obviously hates his leads, but he's like more funny about it. That's also why I like. I just like the subtlety.
He's funny about it too.
He is, but that's why this one is not pleasant for me to watch.
It's definitely it gets really cruel.
It's not even cruel, but like none of that matters to me when I watch a movie. It's more just like. He's honestly kind of more cruel to the audience as well. Just like, this is not a movie, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, you know when I was talking about Pierre LeFou when he's like kept asking like, is this a movie or not?
Yeah.
It might not have been a film to him, but it's like a pleasant experience. You know, about emotions and stuff. This one is just like
he really calls it a film found in a dump, like one of the first things.
Yeah. And I don't know. That's why like I don't like. I love the movie. Like it. Maybe you could say it first on purpose. It has like no rhythm, no. Like sense of coherent structure. Yeah. But there are other movies where we've talked about where he does that. You know, maybe his whole career. Yeah. But it still feels like it's pleasurable to watch.
It's not top tier Godard for me either. At least on first.
But I kind of respect it. Okay. There's this quote that Richard Brody mentioned where he says, because I was like, damn, this kind of makes sense. Where he says, "In La Chanois, I had nothing but details to assemble. Lots of details. For Weekend, on the contrary, I have the structure, but not the details."
Exactly, yeah.
And, like, to me, that's where I was, like, hyping up, like, oh, the Vertov, you know, the idea. you get the details first, and then you make the movie, and then you can kind of, like, build almost a rhythm out of that.
Yeah.
But like this one is like he said he's even admitted he's doing the opposite, where like the opposite, like where I hate that kind of filmmaking. Not I hate it, but it's like I don't know. It feels messy. It feels messy. You know, where it's like you can tell the idea is like just critique everything, hate everything. You know, but like does it come together? I don't know.
I think I think I get
a lot of it just slow to me. But
no, I can see that. I totally get what you're saying. Like I think for me, especially why I love this movie is that I just kind of love that he's doing that. I guess like
it's a unique experiment for sure. I've seen it now twice. I'll probably watch it again at some point.
Yeah, I just love how just like insane it is. I don't know. There's certain
moments that are made. That's why Blake sent us this quote that Raul Godard said about how like even in bad Godard movies that there's still like 20 minutes that are amazing.
Yeah,
this movie definitely has some amazing moments.
Oh yeah,
that we'll definitely get into that I still love about Godard.
But
I don't know. Like some of Godard's best moments are like we've talked about his portrait shots of people, his close-ups like every once in a while, or his like close-ups to even comics strips, just like random stuff like that. Where it's like. It's like missing all of that stuff from it.
Well, I think he himself
has that. Well, this one has that.
But still, it's not like his personal. Like it's not. It doesn't. He hasn't had that personal.
He himself at this point,
it doesn't have that personality to it.
But I think for that reason, it's like he himself was like just tired of that in general.
Yes.
He was just.
So maybe we'll talk about it more with the Edgar Gorin influence. Yeah. People that know it in Godard's career, as a negative usually.
But like honestly, this might be top tier Godard for me. I'm not even gonna lie.
That's crazy. That's an insane.
I can see it getting there.
Okay, let's see what the list says. We'll see. What the list says.
We'll talk about a lot as we go through it, but it's just
to me we're cheering.
It literally like this movie is just so interesting all the way through. Like some people say like okay like it falls off maybe in the second half, which I kind of disagree.
I agree for sure.
I really like this because like
I just hate like how long the forest.
I just love how it's like literally like fucking like Alice in Wonderland, like Willy Wonka.
But it's shot kind of
shit.
ugly though, too.
Oh, okay, all right.
It's like
we're done.
We have to admit, especially the forest stuff.
I mean, it's kind of
like, dude, this guy's a master of color. Like, I was like, oh, what? This guy's like a master of color, and it's like
the forest stuff. It looks amazing.
Like, it just stays wide a lot of the times. That's what I'm saying. Like, it stays wide most of the time.
Their community, Danny.
Well, there's honestly one of the best moments in the movie that happens in the forest too. So
yeah.
Exactly. Like the lake shot is beautiful.
Yeah,
that shot's beautiful.
Greetings, ancient ocean.
Exactly.
But I just love I just love it's almost like there's like wandering into like vignettes in a way like.
It's definitely Traffic is 100 times better than this.
But also like
it has its own car wreck scene that's like literally that it like plays way more.
Obviously I love
this
Traffic
one.
too.
This one's pretty good though.
Yeah,
it
is.
Oh my god!
But I just love also like the historical element too. Like it's almost like time folding.
When did Traffic come out? It was after this.
It's almost like time is like folding in on itself in this movie. Like it's like all of like just time and space is just being like corrupted in a way.
They're all on
it's just a movie that just has like infinite amount of like interesting things about.
They're all on consumer time, dude.
Yeah.
Just like they were in 2 or 3 Things I Know About Her. It's all about consumerism.
Yeah. That one at least he like kind of still likes his lead though in a way. This one he just hates his lead.
But that's because the leads in this one fucking suck.
I mean I fucking hate.
I hate these people.
But they're not real people. They're like Godard makes them.
They're real people. Believe me.
Okay. No, they're very. Yeah, we'll get into it, but they're very vapid, I guess. Yeah.
It's one of the more unique road trips.
This opening too is just so long and boring. Like. When she's like describing that book.
That seems really good.
Danny describing a Godard movie as boring? We've got
No, we don't. No. This movie's not boring at all, though.
Now, see, Danny, think of Weekend with You and just transplant that to Alpha.
It's not one of the first I would recommend Godard.
Well, obviously not. I would not.
Not one of the last either. I mean, probably one of the last.
I would not recommend this to like anyone who like doesn't know who Godard is.
No.
Or just getting into him. Like, you have to work up to this movie.
Which one you would have to recommend?
But yeah.
But see, this one even makes sense like doing it at the end of a early Godard series.
Yeah.
Because like he even said he was like getting like we'll talk about the next movie. He was like getting tired of the narrative cinema and just in general making art.
This movie literally is like the end of his 60s. Marks the end of his 60s output because he just went off. We'll talk about probably when we talk about TV, but like he literally went off in like the wilderness after this, like and like became like guerrilla filmmaker with like the Vertov group.
Yeah.
But before we get into it though, there's a quote from the Richard Brody book I really liked when Godard was he told a journalist before the film started shooting the film like he was trying to describe it to him. and described like the sort of things that would happen. And apparently he said, "One will see accidents, hippies with flowers in their hair, led by Jean-Pierre Calfon, and also Jean-Pierre Laude, who will sing into a telephone, and Juliette Berthaud, who will make speeches on the street, and a Christ, who will change a flock of sheep into a junkyard full of cars." Like that's like another like it's just like it's almost like in a way you could also like kind of think of this movie as like, as I was saying, the vignette style, but also like kind of like the series of gags type of thing.
Yes.
That kind of like we talked about with Boomwell a little bit.
I just prefer that one.
No, I definitely see why you used for that.
It's like, I don't know, because I guess Godard has that '80s comedy I showed you too.
Yeah.
Where he acts in it. I really want to find a way to watch that.
Have you tried?
Because I like Godard that actually sounds amazing. Godard doing like the series of gags thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, does he have one that we watch that you could describe like that in a way? Not really.
Man USA. Wait, doesn't that have the? No. Pierre Le Fou has the.
Pierre Le Fou, I guess,
has the moments. Has some moments like that.
Yeah.
What was the car gag? That wasn't that movie, where he was like trying to kill the person, and it was saying like fate kept on saving him, and it just kept on showing the car having to go back. Wasn't that Pierre Le Fou?
The car. Wait.
I do not remember the scene you're talking about.
Wait. Okay, hold on. Like.
You don't know that scene. That's okay. Move on.
Okay, let's keep.
Okay, I'm so confused what you're talking about.
Because there are gags in Pierre Le Fou though.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's like the gas station one and stuff.
Gas station one. Both of them.
It's the same one that has the Hitler face. That movie. Where he's hiding behind the Hitler newspaper.
Oh, that's Le Petit Soldat.
That's Le Petit
Oh,
Soldat.
okay.
Okay.
That one has
That
one has a lot of gags.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, good point.
No, but this is definitely his most like that kind of structure.
Yeah, probably.
But still, like, it has that just hatred towards filmmaking, I guess.
Yeah, describing this movie is so funny because it's like
Because you just read that quote. I don't know if it comes together. That's where I'm like,
That's fair.
It's almost like he was making a challenge. Like he just has these like ideas in his head. It's like, how is he gonna make a film out of it?
Yeah, I kind of like that about it. I guess.
Yeah,
I do like that about it. So, but yeah, we can go in and get into it. Because it does start with some intertitles, like obviously introducing the movie. I think it says Weekend, but also says like a film adrift in the cosmos, and then also says a film found in a dump, basically. Like, he's basically setting up like, this movie's it's gonna be a ride, basically. And we actually don't start with the scene though of her describing the sex thing. It's actually it's worth him with her with her mistress. His what would you call a mistress? Wait, the guy who she's cheating on her husband with. Is there a name that like mistress for a girl?
For a man.
That's actually true.
Okay.
Has to be.
Okay,
It has
her
to be.
her with
I'm just not thinking
her
of
with
it.
the guy she's cheating on her husband with.
We see what you're saying.
Do you have a lover? That's what.
Yeah, I guess lover probably.
There has to be a word for that.
Yeah,
though.
like this. I didn't even think about that.
I'm just thinking of like a husband always like if a wife finds out that a husband has a mistress, she's like, "Do you have a mistress?"
Paramour.
Paramour.
No
one has ever said
no one
that
said
in the
that
history
before.
of the world. Like,
Yeah, word for mistress, paramour.
Yeah,
It's
no
according
one's
to-
no one's
That's
no
actually
one's
read
like
it,
that.
though.
no one has used that.
In common use, the male equivalent of mistress is lover or boyfriend.
There we go.
Okay.
Paramour, people are saying though.
Okay, but
I mean, we can try bring it around. That's a good word, paramour, but
Okay.
not really. It's not a catch on. Basically, yeah, she's with her lover, and they're at like her house, and basically like. The main thing in the scene though is that like she's on the phone with her husband. She like and he basically is saying like, yeah, I hope cause apparently like her husband's like driving her dad home from like the hospital or something,
okay.
and then he's like the guy's like I hope they like die in the car crash
Yes.
back. So like it's setting up like these people are the not good people.
It's just it's his outlook on this type of French class,
On the bourgeois,
on this
French
bourgeois. Like this is all they think about, like is money and like how they can get money fast, essentially, and they're just wishing for their parents' death so that they can get their
They wish for each
inheritance.
other's deaths.
They
too,
do.
honestly. Like
Yeah,
it's
we'll get to
crazy.
the end.
This is insane.
But see, at the end, it's okay because she's part of the resistance by that point.
The cannibal resistance.
But even the
You
reason she
have to
joined
take
it.
guerrilla tactics.
But they also see like we started to see like people like commotion in the parking lot with like people's like cars, like there's like a car wreck and like people are fighting. But then basically like this is when she tells like the intimate story to him of I'm not gonna go in detail here. It's
her
very
describing a threesome, you know.
Yeah, that's one way to describe it. It's like very grotesque.
With eggs involved. And
Milk.
Apparently, Richard Brody says this is from a text derived from George Batier's Story of the Eye. And then Godard said he claimed he got the idea from a scene in Bergman's Persona.
Yeah.
In which
Okay,
B.B.
yeah.
Anderson described sexual
No,
encounter.
yeah, because that scene in Persona is actually like amazing.
So you're kind of hating on the scene, basically, by saying that.
No, they're both
The way you said
really
it, though.
good. Okay.
You're like, that one's actually amazing.
I mean, that one's probably better, but like,
I don't know.
but it's more important to the movie.
It's been
I
so
feel
long since I've seen Persona.
that scene in Persona is a lot more important to the movie, though.
Yeah, this scene, I'm kind of just like, okay.
It's
But
just, it's supposed to show that like.
Do you remember the
grotesque.
first? It's one of the first opening scenes of Drive My Car. I still remember. It's like a great shot with like the window and like. I'm pretty sure it's a very similar scene.
I need to rewatch that.
Hamaguchi's?
Yeah, Hamaguchi's, where she's like describing. She's talking something, and you see like it's like a silhouette shot of them.
No.
That's late in the movie, isn't it?
Oh fuck.
The snow?
Oh,
The snow? Is it snowy out?
Okay, I'm just bringing this up on the spot, but I'm gonna look it up after.
Is it snowy out?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Maybe
It's like a
we're
very
thinking of
bluey
different
shot
things.
from what I remember.
Oh,
I don't remember.
Because I remember a snowy shot where she's divulging information. But...
No, I need to get.
I need to get into him too. One of the.
Because I have his new movie downloaded, but I just need to watch it. But yeah, it's a very grotesque. I think he's actually just painting more of these people as like not normal. But we get.
It's gonna be fun to watch you go see the scene.
Because there's also a line there
Like,
that's
and somehow they're here now. Like,
yeah.
It's a road trip movie, very surreal also.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's the next day, and basically they're trying to leave to go get this inheritance, which they're not even guaranteed to get, which is funny. Like it's like they're trying to like make a move like so they can get her parents to like sign their names on the will or whatever, and then basically they're trying to leave, and then there's just like this kid in the Indian costume harassing them while they're doing it, and they're like trying to drive away, and then they actually like back into the kid in
The bumper of the
of his
mom's,
parents, with mom and dad's car.
I love
like-
the line because the kid's just like, you ran into our car, and he's like, that's what bumpers are there for.
No, yeah, he's like, yeah, bumpers are made to be bumped. But then, because he tries to pay the kid's like yelling to his parents, and he's like trying to pay him off. And then the mom runs out, and there's also an intertitle which is funny where it says "Scene of Parisian Life," but the mom runs out and it's like yelling at them too, and she says like you can't do this just because you got a dress from Ches Dolores or something like that, like some like company. And then they're finally driving away, and then the dad runs out with the dog and like shoots him with tries to shoot at him with the rifle.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
He brings out a water gun. The other guy does at one point.
Does he actually?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't even notice.
Or something. He pulls out something.
I don't remember what he pulls out. There's a lot going on.
Yeah,
This
there's
scene.
a lot happening.
There's a lot of fights in this where it's like two people ganging up on one person.
Yeah.
It's like you're watching like nothing's gonna happen. You know.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like a gag. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And
But then it ends with the.
yeah, they drive away, and then we get the intertitle Saturday 11 a.m., which he comes back to like the days of the week intertitles, and they like increasingly get more confusing. Like they like get out of like just like don't make any sense. Kind of similar to like what he's done before, like especially like Pere Le Fou.
He's done it before.
But then this is the next. It's like the famous scene from this movie, the traffic jam scene,
It's insane.
which is like I mean like it's a feat of just like how the fuck they do this. Like I don't remember how long the tracking shot is. It's like probably like 5.
I
Well,
think-
Richard. Okay, Richard Brody in his book says the scene lasts for 9 minutes,
9 minutes. Okay.
but it's a series of 3 tracking shots cut together by intertitles to simulate the impression of a single set.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So I think Raul Godard said that they had 300 meters of track, and it was all the track of this specific type of track available in France at the time.
Damn.
Yeah.
At least is what he said.
I mean, yeah, only a madman would try and shoot this. Like,
It was beautiful to watch.
No,
like,
especially just like the amount that's going on in the frame.
It's so funny.
It's unbelievable.
It definitely brings to mind Traffic vibes and that scene in the tunnel in that John Woo movie, Plain Jane to the Rescue. I only bring that up because I'm pretty sure it was either in the John Woo book I was reading at the time or in the John Woo interviews book that someone brought up Weekend. It was either John Woo himself or the Kenneth Hall brought up Weekend as a comparison to that scene in the
Wait, which scene in Plain Jane? I don't remember.
the traffic jam at the very end where the baby's born.
Oh shit!
Because that's a very similar type of scene. Where it's just people coming together because there's a traffic jam. Except this one, this one's definitely people coming together against
people
them.
Coming together.
Yeah, against
I mean,
them.
no, everyone. This one is more just like
chaos.
To me, I see it's chaos, but like people are kind of used to it.
Yes.
You know, it's like that's kind of the
They're
critique
so
of this
used to it
movie.
that
That's the
they're
critique of
playing
this movie.
chess
It's like
and shit.
Godard sees chaos, but everyone's just okay with it. You know, that's how I see it. Like.
Yeah,
that's what, and there's like
everyone's okay with it, and they're screaming at the people that aren't okay with it as they're driving by.
And that's why Godard likes the people in the forest at the end, because it's like almost as like to me, it's like that chaos is like at least that's real chaos, you know?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. Like he understands why people would want to revolt.
Yes. Yeah. And it's also like a really interesting thing, this scene, because like I think it's like a gag where like they're driving all this way, and then when you finally gets revealed that it's like dead people, they speed right past them.
No, that's why I love the scene too, is the ending, because it's like you're kind of waiting, like, okay, when is this going to end? Like, what the fuck's going on?
It's like increasingly getting more and more.
But it hits home because you're like, this is actually why traffic jams happen.
Yeah.
Like you literally see like sometimes like traffic jams will happen just because people are slowing down to see the bodies or something of the wreck. And that's why traffic jam. And then once you get past it, it's fine.
Yeah. Just like speed.
It's like literally just feels like that, but it's like because of like all the stuff that's like going on, and you know, like you said, it's like a movie, but still it relates like to, you know, our experience, especially in America, you know, with so many cars.
Have you ever been in a traffic jam where you
like, dude, this guy would have loved like this, or hated honestly, but loved to maybe film it like this kind of version in America, because cars are like even way more prevalent here than they are in France in the '60s. So like it's crazy.
What was that scene in that American movie where everyone's singing in their car on the highway in LA?
Oh, Umbrella.
Is that La La
Land?
Yeah. Wait, somebody bring that up? Like,
well, that's like kind of the same thing. Just being stuck in traffic.
Oh yeah, but that one's like almost like
It's a very weird experience being stuck in traffic where it's literally not moving to the point that you can get out and actually do stuff like this. Have you guys have been in that before? I'm assuming.
I
don't think I have.
I've been in that before.
Where it just stands still traffic for a little bit.
I don't think
I've literally like on the way to Alabama one year, we literally got stuck in traffic where it was standstill for 3 hours. And so we were just out of the car.
How?
Like everyone was out of the car.
That's crazy.
It was just standstill because of construction. I guess someone got in a wreck up there. At the construction, so it was just taking long because it was construction and there was a wreck, and so it was just like, well, damn, I guess we're just stuck here.
Damn.
It was terrible, honestly, but it was interesting getting out of the car and on the highway.
Did you like turn your car off?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, no, you turn the car off for sure. It's fucking hot as hell though, because it's Alabama. But
see, that's why La La Land is funny though, because like almost that one is just like it's almost so like saying, "Yeah, people like coming together." But this one's like the exact opposite.
Yeah, it's like literally.
Even though there are some like honestly little fun moments, like there's like a couple playing chess on the road.
They're like they're like playing like they're like playing outside. Like are they like using like throwing a ball around or something?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot. Probably,
yeah, it's
like
insane.
yeah, it's like I said, 9 minutes. So
I wouldn't be surprised if there was someone playing an instrument in this scene, because I'm pretty sure there was, but
it might have been. Yeah, that's insane. But basically, then the couple, they drive into a town, and this is when we see they see a crash, like a wreckage of a car with a dead person in it. And then he flashes the intertitle, "The Class Struggle," which is basically this girl is like yelling at this guy in this like comically large tractor, who like basically, because the guy who's dead was like her fiance or whatever, and like the tractor.
Honestly, it's one of the best shots in the movie too. This guy's dead body, like the sunglasses,
like the sunglasses. Yeah, it's like the car's like
the way he's leaned over.
Yeah, it's insane. And like
it's like a funny shot.
And then it's like this girl like yelling at, like literally like screaming at this guy, like
This is Julia Berto.
Julia Berto, yeah.
She's like, the funniest part is she's like, the first thing she mentions is her car, and then I'm pretty sure she throws in her dead boyfriend.
Yeah, the fiance. Yeah.
Her outfit too is insane.
Oh, yeah, it's insane. Like, and also, he's also like cutting to like
the audience.
Close-ups of like people like
straight on,
but
they look like straight on,
and they're like some of them are like smiling and laughing.
I love the guy
laughing
like,
for entertainment.
The guy laughing is the best one, honestly.
Because like that's how people see a lot of these situations as entertainment, like a lot of these like tragedies, you could say.
And it is kind of funny also, just because it's just like.
I mean, yeah, detached from it. Yeah.
I believe the guy in the tractor personally.
Damn, boy.
They were going too fast in that car. You can see it just from the way they dress.
Especially, it's probably because of the way she's talking to him too. She's like, "This guy was way more. My boyfriend's way more important."
But the funniest part is the ending. Whenever they're like asking them about it, they're like, "Who was in the wrong? Who was in the wrong?" And they drive off, and they're like, "Hey, fuck you!" And then they like wrap their arms around each other.
Well, because someone says, I don't know why, but someone says we're all brothers according to Marx.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's after they drive by, like, and then the tractor's like, but we're all brothers according to Marx.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, because then it like cuts to them driving, and he says, and then she asks him, "Are all brothers communists?" And he's like,
"It wasn't Marx.
Yeah.
Another communist said it. Jesus said it."
Yeah.
And also, there's right before that too. She says to him, "Your shortcuts always waste time, and that means nothing." I thought it interesting, like the bourgeois, like how they treat time too, like almost like
the idea of a shortcut wasting time is funny.
Yeah,
that's such a funny insult. Your shortcuts always waste time.
Yeah, but
like that's like when someone's like, you just don't trust someone with directions because you're like.
Yeah, no one. Yeah, I'm terrible.
There's certain people like that.
Me,
like
I can't do directions.
Like if Luke's ever like, I got a shortcut, you're like, all right,
no. But there's also there's a funny gag here because it says there's a dinner title Saturday 3 p.m. and it just shows people attacking them while they're in the car like trying to drive, and then like another dinner title Saturday 4 p.m. and then it's another like shot of like people attacking them. And then basically they come across another car on the side of the road, like in a I think isn't it a car on the side? It's when they meet the couple, like with the girl who initially is like by herself, and like she asks them for a lift, and the guy gets out, checks her out, and is like, "Yeah, you can come." And then the boyfriend comes out, or the guy that's with her, I don't know if the relation, probably boyfriend, but like comes out of nowhere and is like, yeah, I'll tag along, you know. And basically they want to go in the other direction, and when they refuse, they kind of like take it hostage, the car hostage, and then like force them to drive. I mean, you definitely know the intertidally flash here, right?
The Exterminating
Angel. Interesting, yeah. And then because it's revealed in the scene there, because this scene's funny because like the whole time throughout the scene, every time they pass a car. They try to flag them down, but like it keeps coming back to that. Like it's a pretty long scene, and it's funny because also because like they're like insulted, like the guy's like insulting them like, well, we're married, we screw legally. I bet that's not true of you two. Like trying to have like some like moral high ground at this point, like anyone will care like in the situation they're in. But basically, this guy is Joseph Balsamo, who's like apparently like from what my quick Google search, he's basically like there's a book called he's the main character in a book called Joseph Balsamo by Alexandre Dumas, which is like a film a book where like he's like a proponent in like the French Revolution. So I don't know what he's like simply saying there, but there's obviously something there like and they're like he says too like says two things like you don't even know who you are. Christianity is the refusal of self-knowledge, the death of language. And he also says Joseph Balsamo was the son of God and Alexandre Dumas. God's an old queer, as everyone knows. He screwed Dumas and I'm the result. Thus I am God. Yes, I'm God because I'm lazy. But yeah, it's because like he has a lot of these like types of like philosophical literary figures in this movie like and he's also a magician too, which is kind of crazy because he makes the rabbit appear in the dashboard.
And
it's kind of
like he like asks them what they want too, right?
Yeah, I think so. Like, and it's like
I forgot what they say.
Yeah, And also funny because there's a joke here where after he does that, the girl's like she wants him to make a Saint Laurent like evening dress appear.
Yeah.
But basically she then like steals his gun and basically they kind of have this like moment where they're like chase him out of the car and she's like pointing it at him and then like he makes like a bunch of like sheep appear out of nowhere because he's like a magician. It's an insane shot too, like the sheep appearing out of nowhere. And basically this is how they like escape them basically. I
mean, isn't the background of this gorilla? Isn't this guy a gorilla fighter? Or he's supposed to be.
I'm not really sure.
Well, because like that's a whole background. I feel like it's in the background of this entire movie is like guerrilla warfare in general, and like that's the way that you're gonna have to take down the bourgeois. Like that's the way you have to do it. And the reason I say that, I'm pretty sure it's because I can't remember who was in the supplementary on the Criterion Blu-ray that I had for Weekend, but they were saying like directly after like basically this movie came out was like didn't this come out like before May 1968 whenever all the shit in Paris
like a year before
he was basically doing this and discussing about all these like guerrilla tactics and resistance fighters, basically like telling people this is what you're going to have to do essentially to create change in the world almost.
Yeah.
Or like this is what it takes, and then eventually like I think Godard even said the children were ahead of him though because they were already starting to do shit like that in the schools and stuff.
Yeah.
Around the time of even La Chinois, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, yeah, we talked about that with La Chinois. Like he even said like I mentioned a quote that he had where he felt like the kids had gone past cinema in terms of being revolutionary, and that's why he was trying to catch up.
Yeah, and it does feel like Weekend's a part of that too.
Oh yes, it
for
does.
sure.
100%. It's just no, it makes sense why he kind of ended with this one.
No, definitely
for a while.
But yeah, they're basically back driving on their own, and basically we get this like weird like shot of like I don't know how to call the effect. Basically, the effect of how he shows them crashing.
Basically, like the film reel messing up.
Yeah, film reel messing up, and basically they like
as it actually crashed.
It's like this like fiery car. I'm pretty sure it's them though.
It is.
Yeah, it's them.
It's their crash.
Yeah, it's not super clear, but the most memorable thing when she cries out for like a Hermes handbag, it's so insane. Like, oh my god. Like this is a moment you're like, okay, yeah, Godard like literally despises everything about them. He's making them do this. Like it's crazy.
Honestly, it's a great effect too. Like watching the crash actually happen with the film kind of ending crashing.
And like the fire too, it just like stands out so much.
Yeah.
It's like super fiery.
See, it recalls some of the crashes in like Pierre Le Fou.
I can see that.
Like when we see one where the body, like when they're like running off before they burn it and stuff.
Yeah.
There's a couple like that.
Because
he's had crashes like this before.
That's also in this one.
Like
too.
almost like painfully like crashes.
No, yeah. Well, Contempt kind of had one at the end.
Yeah.
This one has one with the plane.
Okay, that one's insane. But basically now we get to the Jean-Pierre Laud scenes because
the best scene in the movie, honestly. I don't know.
Which Jean-Pierre Laud scene though?
Wait, is this the
There's two Jean-Pierre Lauds.
Is this the singing one or not?
This is the French. Him as the French like revolution figure.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
no,
they're right after each other, like basically. Because it has.
Because we've already seen him as like a soldier. I don't know.
Like it's a brief shot in La Chinois.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if they're like the same one.
I don't think so.
But like there's an intertitle from the French Revolution to Gaullist weekends, and it's basically like Jean-Pierre Laud like giving this speech is like this like. I'm pretty sure it's from the French Revolution. There's probably like someone probably knows like if it's like an exact
like
person.
French people probably knew more about
like he's probably someone like actual historical. No, he's talking about like freedom is violence like crime. It seems to be the virtue of vice. Fighting against slavery desperately. It's a lot. Like it's
yeah, it is.
It's honestly, I like it too. I mean, it's Jean-Pierre Laud like I love it. It's just like he's just like walking in like this giant field and they're like walking past it. It's so funny. Like,
it's just funny. Honestly, it's just funnier for the next scene that we're about to see. Because they're just gonna like rob him.
Yeah. Because it's like he's like a completely different person too in the next scene too. It's like
well, he's an actor in this one.
Yeah. Because there's the intertitle before that like Sunday, and then intertop that story for Monday. And then it goes back to Sunday, and then it goes back to Story for Monday.
Oh damn! I did not do that.
It's like it's crazy. And then this is when Jean-Pierre Laud's on the in the telephone booth singing.
This will be the concluding of this.
Yeah, it's like it's so fun. It's so good. And like
I have like the tune stuck in my head.
I can see that. Because it like Zombie Lodge just like
I still don't get exactly why he's like having to sing.
yeah, I don't know either, but it's
I just feel like he's singing to a lover that he's trying to get back, but but she didn't pick
But
up.
as they're like just like trying to take his car.
yeah, and he's like they're like trying to get his attention. He's like trying to get him to stop while
Yeah,
continuing
yeah.
to sing. Like his face in this scene is just amazing.
It's great acting.
And like he like finally gets off the phone when they're actually like getting into his car and
Yeah,
stuff. He's like turning on. He's like, I'm just testing the gears. You know?
And he keeps saying, "I'll take her, but not you."
Yeah, yeah. It's like, yeah. Oh, there's only room for your wife, not you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like they have this like whole dragged out like fight. Like he like takes the tire, the spare tire is like threatening to beat him with it. Like and then like Rowan like is like they like get him away from the car, but then like he like tackles the woman and gets Roland out of the car. It's like it's like this insane like chess battle for this car, you know. But they end up not stealing the car, and basically they're walking down this like this. It's honestly an amazing shot when they're like walking down the path of like fiery wreckage like on either side of them. And then one of
This is the shot that reminded me of Traffic.
Traffic.
Of that one where we actually see the car wreck and like the tire, the car that's like going like on two wheels.
Yeah.
Just like all the wreckage and stuff.
Yeah. They're trying to find a garage basically, and then this is when it's honestly this next scene is one of my favorite scenes in the movie when they find the two people in the forest.
The Lewis Carroll Way. I think that's the intertitle we get.
Yeah, it's Lewis Carroll Way. But one of the
that's later in the scene.
Yeah, because the girl is Emily Bront, who is an English poet.
She wrote Wuthering Heights.
Yeah, wrote Wuthering Heights.
Guess who's doing a remake?
Wait, we don't need to talk about that. We don't even need to bring up
the director of Saltburn.
Anyway,
I was
we're not gonna bring this up. We can't taint this.
I wonder what.
I mean, we have two Saltburn experts here.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do. You guys are a big fan for work.
No, we're not.
What else is Promising Young Woman, right?
Yeah, that movie's terrible.
Wait, you've seen both?
I haven't seen it.
What? How do you know?
I said it looks terrible.
Oh, looks. I think said it is terrible.
No.
Okay, never mind. Okay.
No.
Wait, how do you know? That's judging before you've seen it.
Yeah, I'll judge it before
you
I see
don't
it.
know. Wow.
I will.
No. Give it a chance.
I wonder how she's gonna implement her like sexually tense atmosphere that hates poor people in this movie.
She'll find a way. I mean, it's a British book. If you can easily find it, honestly, probably.
Cheap.
I've actually read this book. Like I listened to the audiobook a long time ago.
Oh, did you actually read it?
But I barely remember it, and I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
It's kind of boring, but I don't know. If I listen to it now, maybe
you should watch Saltburn.
Yeah, it's like basically the same thing, right?
No.
Anyway, because this scene, I love this scene.
But it's like
It's like this like really peaceful scene all of a sudden. Like
honestly,
it's a crazy scene. It's like
that's
a different world.
Yeah, literally, they travel back in time in a way or something like. Because
like this shot of the forest or whatever is beautiful.
Oh, it's
like,
amazing.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Like whenever Danny said this is his ugliest film, I was like, okay, let's calm down a little bit. Like there's some amazing shots.
I mean,
it's amazing.
Of all the ones we've done,
this one has an amazing look to it. It's unique, maybe. So but like, because I love when they initially find and because they're trying to find Oinville. I don't know if it's a real place.
Where's Oinville?
Plus, why? Oh, that's where their mom lives.
I think so. Like where her parents live.
I'm pretty sure it's her parents.
It's her parents, right?
I think so.
They what?
I said I think they're just trying to find a garage at this point, though.
Yeah, they are trying to find a garage too. But when he asked them for the way to Oinville, and she goes, poetical information or physical information, and then like they're like talking like she's like physics does not yet exist, only individual physical sciences maybe, like literally like they just travel back in time and like are just like it's like kind of like you know what people say like what if you showed this to like a pilgrim or something, like it's like some video, it's like this is kind of like a like them asking this to like these people all of a sudden. Kind of that. I feel
they just like don't even know how to answer.
Yeah, because like physics like don't like this kind of physics does not exist. Like,
I do think you bringing up time is kind of important though, because they have been on this like consumer time though this entire movie. Like with the like especially like you think of things like her literally screaming out for the Hermes handbag and shit like that, and just some of the things we drove past in the wreckage. Like, all these people are definitely on consumer time, and then they just get here, and they're so frustrated at the time that these people are moving at, essentially.
Yeah, definitely.
Because they end up freaking out at them at the very end of it.
Yeah. Well, they burn them, right?
Yes.
Well, yeah, because well, they also, before they do that, like they also kind of like, of course, Godard's gonna have some like meta, like the characters understand they're in a movie, like because they say like, what a rotten film, all we meet are crazy people.
Yeah.
And then because then she tells a story about the pebble too.
Yeah.
Which is because like the movie like cuts to like a shot, like a black and white shot. Of,
This is like one of the few Godard moments. Like,
what do you mean?
Like one of the more like close up, like random, like
okay.
I don't know, like I don't know. It's more like a normal Godardian moment.
Like,
one of my favorite.
He's bringing cosmic time with the pebble.
Cosmic time with the pebble.
Wait, because
like,
I wrote down.
That's a great time. That's a great quote.
Poor pebble, ignored by architecture, sculpture, mosaic, and jewelry. It dates from the beginning of the planet, perhaps from another star, warped by space like the stigmata of its terrible fall. It predates man, and man has not embodied it in his art or industry. He did not manufacture it and thus decide its place. The pebble perpetuates nothing more than its own memory. And then he also goes on to say, obviously minerals are neither independent nor sensitive. That's why it takes so much to stir them. The heat of a blowtorch, for instance, or an electric arc, earthquakes, volcanoes, or eons of time. And like, like she's like saying all this, and like right after like they don't give a fuck. Like they're like, which way's to Oinville? Like they still like want to know. And then like she's like giving him like riddles, like giving them riddles too, like from this book, which are like it's like a kitten who likes fish is a good pupil. No tailless kitten is ready to play with the gorilla. And like it's like a bunch of those like types of like it's so random, but like and then basically like because I think right before they burn her too, they say this isn't a novel, it's a film. A film is life, and then this like they like set her on fire basically.
Damn.
And it's like the shot's so really interesting too because like he only shows like they set like the edge of her dress on fire, and you don't even see her burning.
Yeah.
I think you see like kind of like the aftermath of like.
You see the aftermath, and I do like it because I think the wife said, the husband says something. I can't remember exactly what, but he's like, she's not real, and then she's like, but why is she crying?
Well, he says, can't you see they're only imaginary characters?
Yeah, because okay, right before that though, he says it's rotten of us, isn't it? We have no right to burn even a philosopher. Can't you see they're only imaginary characters? And then he said,
that's the girl says.
The girl says that, and then the guy says, we're little more than that ourselves.
Yeah,
basically, like, I was the characters recognizing like they aren't real people. Which, I mean, it's Jean-Luc Godard like his characters realizing their characters. Like, I feel like we've talked about that. Like,
oh yeah.
Pierre
We've definitely talked about that since Pierre Le Fou.
Pierre Le Fou, Made in USA, Two Things I Know About Her, kind
La
of.
Chinois has a lot of
La Chinois,
shit too. So.
But yeah, it's a big part of his films. There's also the worm shot. We're we're both totally ignorant of what this worm is.
Close
like,
up of the worm.
Yeah, it's so insane. No, and then basically. There's a quick, brief scene where they find the remains of a wreckage, and like the girls, the wife simply goes over there to over the wreck because she liked the pants of one of the dead people and like takes it off. Damn. It's like, and they're like she's like putting it on, and like the guy's like, take them off, there's a truck coming, and he tells her to like sit down and like spread her legs towards the car and get to stop. It's like, oh, this is insane. Like, basically they get in the large truck, and this car
is like a band or something.
It's like
they say a band needs help
or something like that. Yeah, it's like the big yellow one, I think.
Yeah.
Because then we get the intertitle musical action.
Honestly, this is a great intertitle too.
Okay, yeah.
The way it moves to the beginning with the music.
Yes. It sounds like a silent comedy at first, honestly.
Yeah.
Like that's like that type of music, honestly. But this also is an amazing scene when they're in the town.
It's a great shot too.
Like when
these moments, honestly, where the movie kind of slows down, are like the best moments.
There's some of my favorite moments for sure. Even though I love this movie, like I love the other scenes, but these moments especially like are just like amazing because like it's like nice as a breather, but like just like the way he's like moving his camera and like the music in the background's playing, and like the guy.
I just like how the guys basically.
Damn, daddy.
I was trying to find the name of the this song that's playing.
Well, 'cause
it's
the guy-
It's a Mozart.
Yeah, the guy says you don't listen to Mozart, or poor people. What does he say? He says something about like beginners play.
Well, that's at the end of
beginners
the
is
scene
too
where
easy
he's
to
like,
play or something like that, and
he
for
said-
advanced it's too hard. So.
Yeah, he's like Mozart's too easy for beginners, too hard for virtuosi.
Yeah.
But does he also say something about at the very beginning, like you don't listen, you just listen to Mozart or something like that? Like he says something about specifically like you listen to Mozart. There are other people you do other things with, but you just listen with the Mozart.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Because that's essentially all we're doing in this scene is just listening to Mozart, and that's what everyone's doing in this.
Yeah,
scene.
everyone's literally just paused. Like the camera's just like
It's a very
spinning
un-Godardian like scene.
like it's spinning around gracefully, just like looking at everyone.
Godard doesn't do this very often, where he just like lets a scene linger almost like this.
Yeah, I guess.
He doesn't.
He
He doesn't do it very often. Where he's like moving the camera like this. No.
It's very slow, honestly.
Yeah.
It's very peaceful. Like
Yeah.
the 360 shot.
He's moving it around everywhere.
He
I don't know
did,
if
kind of in Viva
360
Seville
though.
and two of the things I know about her. The similar shot. I know for sure.
Yes.
But yeah,
The 360 shot happened in 2 or 3 things. This one though isn't 360. This one's just going wherever the camera wants.
I'm pretty sure
No,
it's
I'm
going
pretty
around a
sure it
circle.
goes
It's going
through-
around a
it
It
doesn't-
circle.
doesn't. It doesn't go in a complete circle though, because it goes
Not
like
complete.
halfway and then comes back around.
Well, that's what he
and then
did
goes
in
back
his other
around.
movies
yeah.
too. The other movies too.
It's
like,
almost 360 basically.
It's a 360 kind of like axis.
It goes like this. It goes all the way, and then it comes like this.
Yeah.
I don't
He's
remember
going
seeing something like this in Godard's movie.
Viva Seville, the record store scene, when it like pans to the.
That's
He
just
has
a
a
pan.
slow
though.
moves.
That's just a pan. This
He
one's
has
But
way
also, it kind of
longer.
is like a similar
This one's
idea.
way
This like roller guitar, like it's like a track and a pan at the same time, and you slowly pan while you're tracking.
Yeah, not this long though.
Maybe not this long.
Because
this one is
this is very not like Godard. This scene, honestly.
some moments like those.
I don't know. I disagree, but
For the most part, I agree with you, but he's got his moments. Even in this movie, this is not common though, so it's like.
that's what I'm saying. This is very
But
uncommon
yeah, but he
even
has-
in this movie.
Yeah, that's what
it's
I'm
a very
saying, yeah,
uncommon
but-
thing for Godard to do something like this,
Yeah.
which is why it's such an interesting scene in general.
Yeah. But then we get an inner title of A Week of 4 Thursdays. And the truck driver drops them off somewhere. And then we get another inner title, a Friday Far From. And then we get... They come across these like people who are like apparently like Italian actors in a co-production. And they're like singing. I think they're like singing or something. And then basically we get like inner title A Friday Far From Robinson and Monte La Jolie or something like that. I don't really know what they mean by that, but then they come across a car driving down the road. This is this scene is basically like they're like on the side of the road, like walking down the road or something. And there's like multiple cars like coming by, and they like keep asking them to give them a ride. They keep asking them questions to like test them, and like
Yes.
when they answer it wrong, they drive away. Because the first one is, are you in a film or in reality? In a film. In a film, you lie too much, and they drive off. And then we get like a guy who comes just like walks down there and like asks Roland for a light, and he says no, and then like. It's like, oh, is that your wife down there? And like goes and like rapes her. Like,
Yeah, this is where it starts to get like really brutal, honestly.
Yeah,
where it's like,
this
because it's been kind of funny up to this point.
Well, you forgot a couple more questions.
No,
there's
that's
some
after
other
that. It's
ones,
after
yeah.
this because
Oh, okay.
this happens after the first one. And then there's a few
Oh,
other
okay.
ones because
Because this is like a really brutal scene.
yeah,
honestly,
it's
really
like it's like in the
brutal.
ditch too.
No,
It's like you can't
no.
see it. You just
'Cause
let
it's
it happen.
worse. It's always like it's
So
something that
nonchalant.
people need to do this more. Need to realize this more. If you have horrific things happen off screen, you just hear things. It's way worse than if you're like watching it.
Yeah, definitely.
Because like I hated this. I hated watching this scene.
Yeah.
Like oh my god.
But yeah, basically, I think the important part is that he's just like allowing it to happen though. Too.
No, yeah.
Just don't
That's
care.
what makes it. It's so like it's just such a dark scene.
Yeah.
Like Jesus. Because like right before this, you think of the question right before this. Are you in a film? Yes.
Yeah.
No, you're not. You lied to yourself, and then this scene happens. You're like,
Yeah.
holy shit, Jesus.
Definitely. And the next one's, would you rather allow yourself to be screwed by Mao or Johnson? And he goes, Johnson. Drive off, he's a fascist. And then the next I think it's the final one, where they said, who struck first, Israel or Egypt? And I think she responds this time, the bloody Egyptians. And then they respond, pathetic ignoramus. I don't know if she's trying to, is she lying there probably? Because wouldn't the bourgeois usually say,
I don't think this is the bourgeois though. I think they're like
No,
she's
I'm
trying
not the
to
answer.
lie.
I'm not the answer. Okay, is she trying to lie? There?
No, I think she's. I don't know what she's doing, but I think she doesn't know what's going on essentially at this point. 'Cause she has just been raped, so
Yeah, I
think she just answers truthfully how the bourgeois would answer. Because I think everyone driving past them isn't bourgeois, and that's why they're driving away. Is because like the bourgeois.
Well, no, the one person before said they're a fascist though.
No, yeah,
like drive off. He's a fascist. I feel like the bourgeois wouldn't say that.
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying these people driving are not bourgeois.
Okay, I thought
Even though the lady that calls him fascist is like super rich, and she has a driver.
She might be. Yeah,
She was because she has like even a rich dog kind of thing. I think,
Yeah.
but like, and she has a driver too. That's why it's kind of funny.
Okay.
Because she's like on the outside, but
but then they I think they eventually jump on the back of this truck.
I get some comrades.
Yeah, they get they're like bumming food off like these like radical like
Yeah.
and basically and then we get the subtitle or intertitle World 3, and then basically it's this scene of like these people just like it's almost like he's like shifting focus away from those two and just like letting these people talk about like imperialism in like Africa. Like they're like talking directly to the camera basically.
They aren't talking directly to the camera. They're looking at the camera while the person next to them's talking about it. Because it's just like the Afghani guy is just like, now I'm gonna let my black brother talk about the like imperialism in Africa, and then like the camera just hangs on him while he's eating the sandwich while his brother's telling the story. Yeah. And then it happens with the black guy too, where he's just eating the sandwich, and then like the Afghani guy is telling the story.
Yeah.
This is definitely like the Edgar Gorn influence. I feel like, and like we'll get some of these scenes more directly in Tout Va Bien.
Yeah, literally like
this like almost like what Godard considered like direct action. Like, almost like just like characters talking directly to the camera about their problems.
Just like abandoning like the main like
it's like this is a real issue. It's gonna be kind of boring. Like it is. Honestly, I don't know. Like
he's done this a lot.
He doesn't care about imperialism.
But these are like but direct action. These are like directly political issues. You know, even like of the time.
Danny loves imperialism.
He's done this a lot too.
Like by who? Like which movies are you talking about?
Man USA specifically for sure has this happen a lot. Because I specifically remember there's one time where they're both talking about... Well, obviously we have the cassette tape, which happens a lot in that movie. Okay. And then also they're both standing in front of a wall. I think it's with the same exact guy, actually.
No, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Where they're both talking in front of the wall about this political stuff. And you just have to choose which one you're listening to, essentially.
But even this one's a little more direct, too. Like they're literally just direct. It looks like they're just reading from some paper, probably.
But see, this also feels like... His short, which I'm not a fan of his short and Far From Vietnam, but it feels like this too. Okay. Which I guess that's part of the Bird Talk group, isn't it?
No, that was Chris Marker's thing.
Oh, okay.
Chris Marker started that.
Didn't Varda have one?
Yeah, Varda has one in there.
Varda has it for a few people.
I haven't seen that yet.
Apparently no one liked Godard's
it's not good, man.
Either.
It's not good.
I thought Richard Brody mentioned
like let's make a documentary about Vietnam all about Godard's hands. Like,
maybe. I don't think that's what it's about. No, he's definitely saying something about
he's saying something
about so that's he's like
but he's talking about it in relation to his hands. Okay.
No, but he's basically making the point like, what can I do from here, like where I am?
That's what all of them are doing, essentially, yes.
So like,
so it's not that
makes sense. Yeah, Blake's definitely undersigned. Like,
I swear I've seen people say
that. Like, oh yeah, the movie is serious about Vietnam. Godard just decided to make a movie about his hands and stuff. Like, come on.
It's essentially what happens.
It's not that.
I think I've seen people on Letterboxd say like they like Godard's the best.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I remember liking Godard's too. That's on.
Damn.
It's been a long time since I've seen it, and I really like that movie too.
That's a great movie.
I need to watch it.
And you're hating Chris Marker while saying you don't like it.
How dare you?
But then they finally arrive in Oinville.
Just saying Oinville.
Yeah, it's funny. Is that a real place though?
I'll look it up.
Okay. But basically they arrive at her mother's place, because it's like a quick cut of like her taking a bath in there, because and she's like basically saying like, yeah, she's not gonna split with us. Like we need to do something about this.
Yes, it's Oinville-sur-Montauban.
That was a beautiful pronunciation.
The commune in the Yves department in the Ile-de-France region.
Ile-de-France.
Are there emus there?
Emus, yeah. Emus in Ile-de-France. And I was like trying to figure out what the animal was.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know there's emus in the Ile-de-France?
Centered on the capital of Paris, it is located in the north central part of the country and often called the Paris region. That's the Ile-de-France.
Okay.
The Paris region.
A lot of emos there, apparently.
So it must be a real place.
Yeah. But I think in because it's also like the around the time when we get like the trademark Godard long-winded story that might not make any sense or whatever, the hippopotamus one.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're talking like the hippopotamus that like didn't want to prove something by like not eating or something like that. Like
he wants to prove that he's not eating fish because he'll vanish shit and then prove there's no bones in the shit.
So he like goes in the water and like how's he like
damn. He says he's like talking about how the hippo's ugly, but like maybe it's not ugly to itself.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Cause
I think he's kind of making the point that like bourgeois are kind of like hippos. In a way.
That makes sense.
Because he says at the very end, acceptance of collective life constitutes its most abject condition. Because he's kind of comparing like how hippos have accepted their condition of being ugly in a way or something.
Okay. Yeah.
Because at the very end, he like cuts to this like just modern houses and stuff.
Okay.
Actually, it's the houses where they're going to visit the mother. I'm pretty sure
Okay,
the neighborhood or something.
Yeah.
Because that's like the next scene, right, where they go and basically kill her.
Oh, they skin the rabbit first.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that's it's a brutal shot.
There's a lot of animal killing in this movie.
There is.
Yeah, we could leave it at that. It's brutal. It's brutal.
I mean, it's part of the Bertov thing. It's a Bertov thing. Bertov literally shows a fucking cow getting slaughtered backwards. Like,
wait,
what?
in which one? Quinoa?
Quinoa.
Quinoa.
Yeah, it's quinoa.
But that's a little different though. Godard's like way more like harsh about it.
No, this isn't that harsh.
Okay, the goat one where we just like see like blood paint on like.
No, that's a rabbit. I thought it was a rabbit.
Oh, it's a rabbit.
Yeah.
Okay, a rabbit.
Yeah.
The skinned rabbit. Yeah, with the blood on it.
That one's a little worse.
Yeah.
I was talking about the other ones.
Like the pig?
Those ones aren't that bad. That's just how people kill animals.
Yeah.
So.
That's actually true. Yeah.
It's brutal to watch. It is, especially for animal lovers like me. But it's life.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, it's honestly really this one.
Yeah.
But it's honestly, it still looks more like red than blood.
No, it does.
Sticks into the Godard thing.
Because he has a shot of like him like pouring paint on it or something.
Yeah,
or like it's supposed to be like blood
multiple,
spattering.
Yeah.
It's insane.
But it's like honestly uneasy for like just because how red it is.
No,
you know, not really because like looks like blood.
And he like does a close up of it too. Like
exactly.
you initially see, it and you're like, oh, but like at least he's putting it at a distance, and then he just like puts his camera right next to it, like
honestly, yeah,
right up to it.
There's not a lot of close ups, so that it kind of sticks out like that.
Yeah,
too.
you can see that. Yeah. But yeah, they kill her mother, like stab her basically, like and escape. They leave Oinville. For some reason, they set fire to the. I don't.
Well, they say they're gonna hide their murder with her like getting in a car wreck with a plane.
Okay, I got it. Yeah,
which is just so stupid.
Yeah. It's like set fire to the plane all of a sudden, like run away.
That's definitely very pure Leifu, for sure.
Honestly, yeah, I can see that. But then they're at like a picnic with people, and then like the two armed gunmen come by and like. They shoot some of them and then take the others hostage into the woods. This is like the final section of the movie, basically.
Yes.
It's like the cannibal like radicals, like revolution group or whatever. Because this is literally just like this is scenes of like just like random like moments in this like kind of like group. Like there's a lot of them. Like
this is what I was saying. This like kind of ugly like forest, not very shot very well on purpose or whatever. Like,
it's shot well.
It's kind of overexposed too.
This guy. No.
It's unpleasant to watch, I'll say that.
What about the guy drumming in the middle of the woods?
That's the guy. I like that guy.
And like you can see like the scenery in the background.
We also hear the guy in the speaker. They're like they have movie names.
Yeah, they have movie names to call it like Battleship Potemkin, Calling the Searchers.
There's also a Johnny Guitar.
Johnny Guitar one.
Let's go. Gotta get the Johnny Guitar.
Yes, sir. What's that like our fifth one?
He doesn't hate him like that much.
Okay, I'm curious. Okay,
still sticking to the classics.
We should have made a counter of how many like movies you mentioned Nicholas Ray at least once.
Honestly, yeah.
Basically all of them.
Because
Pierre LeFou for sure.
Hold on, let's start from the beginning before we do that. Woman is a woman. Did he do it?
I don't remember though.
It's too hard. It's too hard right now.
Okay, yeah. Wait, now's not the time to do it either.
Yeah. We can't do that right now.
Maybe during the break.
Break.
But yeah, we just see a bunch of weird shit happen.
Yeah, bizarre montage of stuff.
We see this butcher. I kind of like this butcher guy, honestly.
Okay, yeah.
He's got a weird vibe to him.
Yeah, that's one way to say it.
I mean, yeah, he's a cannibal.
He's hitting a pig, though, isn't he? Is he, like, butchering a pig?
I mean, yeah, this part.
Yeah.
I was just talking about later whenever they throw the woman to him and says you can have sex with her first before eating her.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, damn.
Yeah. Because there's an intertitle, too, which I don't know. Well, there's an intertitle, August Light.
August Lights.
Which also, okay, the intertitle also said Lumiere. And I don't know if, does Lumiere translate to light? Lumiere mean light? Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because we also, I think we see a shot of Roland, like, dead, too, in one of these scenes. Basically, the same way they killed him to, like, eat him.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the same scene where the guy is cracking eggs over their bodies, isn't it?
No,
well, she's not
earlier,
dead.
we see someone, like, break eggs over, like, this girl's legs and stuff.
Yeah.
It kind of recalls the beginning of the movie when she's talking about the nightmare.
Yeah.
Her sexual encounter.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think about it.
Yeah, there's an intertitle that says October language. Which I don't know if that's a reference to Eisenstein's October.
I think he's trying to say this is like time is passing. Because August.
Okay.
He's like giving weird like this is August, now it's October.
Yeah.
I think that's if I had to guess. Because she's honestly just okay with her husband dying.
No, well she eats. Well, they force her to eat
at the end. Yeah.
Well,
like,
I mean,
there's a great shot where one of them says they're standing over the dead body of the husband. And someone says the horror of the bourgeoisie can only be overcome by more horror.
Yeah.
And that goes with Blake saying like just like guerrilla warfare in general. Like that's what the scene is in a way. I think like Godard saying like this guerrilla lifestyle is like what's going to defeat the bourgeois. I guess in a way.
It's like dark, but I think that he at the very end of this he likes this woman at the very least because she changed.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, like the thing is, like I thought the husband was a piece of shit and deserved to die, especially after he subjected his wife to rape on the road.
Yeah,
and that's like I don't know. I feel like you have sympathy for the wife throughout the movie after this point, and at the end you're just like, yeah, you eat that husband, baby.
Damn.
Fuck him.
So,
because I'll tell you what Richard Brody says. He says, that doesn't mean you're wrong, because I kind of see what you're saying. Because I can see what you're saying where Godard kind of at least likes her a little bit.
I mean, probably not, because he hates everyone in this movie, but...
That's where, this is what he says. He says, the point is clear. The bourgeois woman does whatever she must to save herself, including joining a band of cannibals and becoming its leader's lover. The betrayal is dramatized by Godard since the start of his career. Here it took on the most bitter and evil form.
What betrayal?
This idea of like, we've talked about how the women in Godard's life kind of like have betrayed her.
Oh.
Like, he says like, this is like the conclusion of that in a way.
I can see that, I guess.
But see, then you can draw from. I guess you can extrapolate your own conclusion from that.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like this husband deserved to die. Fuck it.
No, I could see that too.
Yeah,
her
definitely.
just like, especially her being like joining this team at the end.
Yeah, becoming radicalized.
But did she join it just because she has to, or they would have killed her too?
Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, because isn't there like a scene too where like they're like trying to have like a trade off with her with people, and then like a gunfight ensues, and like she doesn't escape or something.
Yeah, that's whenever. Isn't that whenever her husband dies?
I thought he died earlier.
Maybe he died earlier. I can't remember.
It's not really clear.
But yeah, she goes to the leader at that point.
Yeah.
She runs away with him.
There's like before the scene though. There's a shot of the tiny frog in the guy's hand too.
Yeah,
it's like amazing. But yeah, basically the final shot is of the wife eating.
Wait, we didn't talk about the guy though.
Yeah.
Honestly, one of the best
the
moments.
lake
This
scene.
is where like Godard's poet.
Oh, when he's playing the
lake
drums?
scene.
It's like
no,
Godard's
the
poem.
lake scene.
Yeah, when he's playing the
lake
drum.
scene.
Oh, yeah, when he's like singing too.
Yeah, he's like playing the drums,
Okay.
and then the camera slowly pans up
Yes.
to the lake above him.
Okay, yeah.
Where he's like, he's talking to the ocean,
Okay, yeah.
and he's like, which is easier to divine, depth of the ocean or the human heart? With respect to the ocean, the human heart is much deeper. Or something like that.
Yeah. I feel
But he keeps saying like greetings, ancient ocean.
Okay.
Honestly, it's a really good moment. Like,
In Something Else, they said where this was from.
This-
I can't remember what
this is
it
why
was.
like Godard doesn't have normal bad movies, because a normal bad movie you're like, okay, this
Yes,
third
I
act's
agree
gonna
with
suck.
this.
Yeah.
Like we already know what's gonna happen basically. Whereas
Yeah.
like Godard could have a good moment any time, so you gotta pay attention.
That's what Rolf Guitar says.
Yeah.
It's a special
But
trait.
yeah. The final shot of the wife eating her husband. But then, obviously, do you guys notice the end credit though?
Cinema and...
Fin de Cinema. And the end of cinema.
Oh, damn.
It's kind of funny.
The end of cinema.
But it makes sense, yeah. But yeah, that's Weekend though. fucking insane ass movie, dude.
It is an insane ass movie. I lean more on your side, Luke. Where if I watch this again, I think it'll be more top tier Godard for me, honestly.
Yeah, because I didn't even really like this movie at first.
I mean, I still like it. I just don't love it.
No, I can see.
It's not his worst now that I'm looking at it, but
No, he has a lot.
I can see why people wouldn't like this as much.
Yes,
yeah, for sure.
actually,
Wait, what?
of the ones we're ranking, it might be the worst.
Oh, damn, no.
Not the ones we're ranking.
Come on.
I might like it more than you see. I'm saying, we'll think.
Well,
I gotta think
what
about
about Le Petit?
Yeah, maybe more than that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's actually I don't know.
But yeah, that's weekend. After the break, we'll talk about Tout Va Bien.
Passe un peu le mille. Tu nous fais des marques là au téléphone. Oui. Passe-moi le kilo là. Si.
Alright, and we're back from the break, and so we're gonna go ahead and get into Tout Va Bien, which cat just jumped up. Which
my coat.
I didn't realize even before I.
This guy. Cinematic.
Wow. ASMR can opening? Okay.
Everyone turn off the podcast.
Yeah. So I didn't even realize when I picked this, and like when I first watched it, that this Godard, like, apparently this is like mostly Goran directed this, because like Godard got in a motorcycle accident.
So let me guess why you picked it.
Why?
The Dollhouse and Jerry Lewis.
That's part of it, yeah.
Yeah,
I love that part about it. But there's a lot of moments. Like,
Okay, there's some good moments.
it's not even just that. He brought like also like the gags in the like in like that like factory too. Like with the manager, I really like that. Feels very Jerry Lewis. Well, I find this film interesting for a lot of different reasons. Like him using the two big stars, but like straight up, literally like abandoning them like right away, and like it's like literally telling you exactly what's about to happen right as things are happening. Like it's interesting, like just like fragmented like narrative, like kind of what he's been doing, like with like making fun of like the studio system in a way. And in a way, also, I feel like this is also kind of a update on Contempt in a way, because the opening scene when he like introduced like, oh, there has to be a love story. Like the stuff they're saying is like basically like it basically is ripped from. Feels like it's ripped straight from the opening scene in Contempt, when they're talking about like I love your mouth, your eyes, and stuff, like them going back and forth, but also like the way like it happens, like the apartment scene when they get mad, like that's like similar to Contempt in a way. But we'll talk about when we get into it. But yeah, I like this movie. It's not like, it's definitely like not one of my favorites we're talking about. But I just find it interesting, especially in this stage of you could say Godard's career. Which is kind of hard to talk about Godard, because now that I know he didn't direct it, it's like super weird. Like he like barely directed it apparently. It's super weird. There's a lot of interesting things to talk about. So.
I mean, you bringing up Contempt, first of all, I mean, just to go on my thoughts. First of all, Brody does say that Goran directed the scenes that were intended to mime scenes and styles from Godard's earlier films. So it kind of makes sense. Like, he might even have Contempt directly in mind, you know?
Definitely did, yeah.
So
we even talked about Contempt, that he was
like
done with that movie's about like being done with like the star producer like combo too.
Like the tracking shot in the supermarket's the obvious one too. Like,
Yes.
with like the one we just watched. With
Yes, exactly.
Okay, yeah.
Very similar.
But like, I wish I'd read this before I watched the movie.
Okay.
I wish I hadn't known that, but it does have like a kind of ugliness to it. That,
yeah, I can see. Yeah.
Like, it's hard for me to say, oh, I would have known this wasn't Godard, but at the same time, I don't know. It doesn't feel as essential. I don't know if I'm just saying that now because I know, like that's the problem. Like, there are some good moments, but still at the same time, like, Godard has this way, especially in his 60s movies, of like making you hate but also love movies at the same time. I don't know.
Yes.
That's like some of his best movies.
Yeah.
But This one is more just like, I don't know. It's kind of just I'm like indifferent. It kind of just goes, you know.
Okay.
But there's some good moments, like.
There's 3 good moments.
Damn.
There were 3 moments I remember for this.
Damn.
But like I wanted to mention what because Ann Wyazemski said about. Did you read that part?
Okay.
He says about him, like basically there's like 2 quotes. First, Goran brought out the worst in him, dragged him toward a cinema that was not his own. He created a void around him. I left because of Goran, because of living with him. He was like a political commissar. All of my problems with Jean-Luc date from his arrival. And then a little later on, she's like, he mentions a different quote where he's like, Godard asked me to become a partner in his work, but it didn't interest me. If it hadn't been for politics, Goran, yes, it would have been a classic actress-director relationship.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like she really wanted like the what he had with Anna Karina, those kind of films.
Yeah.
But it's clear Godard is like moving on.
Yeah,
you know?
Godard's like.
So who is this Goran guy? I honestly don't even know who he is.
He's like a. He's
I think he was like a documentarian
like
before
some
this,
kind of like political like.
but more like a politician. He was known as a Maoist, even though he was more just like a Maoist.
Because he had that quote.
He's credited.
Brody talked about in the Lost Chinois section, like apparently like he was like contributor like in that like how Godard described like he would like live the films with him.
Yes, basically.
I think that's what how like they were
like how they would talk, basically like a kind of script writer, basically, but someone would talk through the ideas with them.
Yeah.
But basically geared him towards more of his like Maoist phase. You could say Godard's Maoist era.
Which is interesting because basically he kind of like fell off the map basically after Weekend and made. I haven't really seen them yet because I've heard they're like really hard to watch.
Some of them are,
but yeah, basically he was like making like with the Vertov group with Warren, and then
like in some of those Vertov group movies that they have this kind of back and forth they call Rosa and Vladimir, and like Goran plays Vladimir or like Lenin and he plays Rosa or Rosa Luxemburg, and they kind of like talk back and forth over voiceover. Like we've seen Godard do this before, like with 2 of the leads, but like you could say Goran's another lead for him, you know, for some of these. That's why it's interesting. Did you even mention why Goran basically directed this movie?
Oh yeah, because Godard got in a motorcycle accident, like a pretty bad, like a really bad one.
Yeah, and he was like coma for a month too,
Yeah.
which is crazy. Like I never hear that mentioned.
I've heard it mentioned a few things,
Right. Yeah, I've never seen that. Well,
yeah,
that's just crazy.
yeah.
And apparently, Edgar Gordon like predicted it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's like most people with motorcycles. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, if Blake, you could give your thoughts on
So yeah, I didn't really like this movie, honestly. It might grow on me if I watch it again, but the 3 like there are 3 memorable scenes to me, honestly, in this movie. And it's I think we've mentioned all of them basically. Well, not all of them because one of them we haven't mentioned, but we've mentioned the supermarket tracking shot, which is pretty memorable, kind of cool, but it does feel like just Weekend done again, which I thought was weird. And now that you told me it's not actually directed by Godard, it makes sense. Like it makes sense. But then the dollhouse scene that you were talking about earlier, that's amazing. It's just really well shot. And then like the dick scene, which I just wasn't expecting that. And that kind of felt like classic Godard, honestly, just a dick coming out of nowhere that the main actress has to hold a picture of just in front of the camera. I was like, okay, this is weird. But I honestly I can't tell you what this movie's about. I don't know. I didn't like it that much, man. It kind of just like bounced off me completely. But that happens a lot of times with Godard's first watches with me. So like I said, if I watch this again, I might actually get more out of it.
Well, he's making fun of the fact that of as we've been saying like about like the filmmaking process in general, like having to fund this all just to like and having to like pretend to focus on the stars to, like get his message across. He's like kind of like making fun of that, I feel like, in film form. And you like basically kind of like see that a lot during the scenes where like they're like going to the sausage factory, but like literally like we're stopping and like instead like kind of like forgetting about them and like focusing on like these other people's stories. Basically, it's kind of just how I read the film.
I did find enjoyable. Sorry. No, I did find the factory scenes kind of enjoyable, actually, because that reminded me a little bit more of, like, Zika Vertov in general. Just watching workers work in a factory, but...
Yeah.
And just seeing the process of how the things were, basically, like, the process of the creation of things that we actually consume.
Yeah.
But... What were you about to say there?
Well, I was going to say, Damn, I should remember. But I do like the factory scenes. Damn, I wish I remember what I was gonna say. I don't remember while we talked about it. Damn. Yeah, let's keep going.
But yeah, we can go ahead and get into it though, because I'm surprised you didn't mention in terms of the memorable scenes the opening scene of the movie when they're signing off the checks.
Oh yeah.
Because I really like this because it's basically saying he's basically making fun of the financial part of the film, like having to sign off everyone, and then them saying oh you need stars for this movie, like international stars, and he signs off 2 checks for that. So he has Montan and Jane Fonda basically, and it's actors want to see a story before they sign on, usually a love story, and then basically that's the same with them walking in the park, and there's them in voiceover from Contempt talking about how much what they love about each other basically. And it's they'll have relationship problems with voiceover, and it's showing them fighting basically, and then it's oh no, that's too vague. There needs to be people, there'd be farmers who'd farm. But yeah, basically, Yves Montand. I don't know if I saying his name right.
Yves Montand.
Yves Montand. Okay. Well, it's called him and her basically throughout the movie.
He does. Richard Brody mentions how one of the contributions Godard mentioned, you kind of mentioned what you liked about the movie, was these 2 stars that we're seeing at the beginning, they're kind of describing basically why they're in the movie in the first place, because the movie needs stars to get funded.
Yeah.
He kind of mentioned Godard's one of his theoretical contributions was to not give the main characters the bulk of the screen time. To kind of emphasize that point, they're really not the stars, Yeah. That also can cause problems with the actors, stuff. But it's funny, this, because I remember I was gonna say you mentioned Bertov a little bit, but this movie is even more specifically about a strike too.
Yeah,
it's kind of confusing. That's why it's kind of confusing how it gets into it, but it's about these 2 reporters that are going in and they kind of just stumble upon a strike that's going on.
They're going to interview the manager basically.
They're keeping locked in. And these I think these are rebels within the union themselves that are caught. They're kidnapping. The union doesn't even want them to do this.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of about union infighting. What do you do with the group is infighting that's fighting against the boss in the first place? But there's it has these kind of ideas, about just the problems of a factory, I think. And so it has some good moments where it cuts to them where they're we want to describe our own problems and stuff. But we'll get to that, but. Yeah, that's why I wanted to mention the stars too, because they come I don't like how they come. It's almost jagged the way they come in and out.
I mean, yeah, because
they have that random just couple fight, and it's it just feels so forced almost.
Oh, in the park.
Even though I kind of like the scene itself, it just feels so random. When they have their fight later on.
Yeah, I get that. That's.
It has a lot of those kind of moments where it's a fine line between having a movie where it's a series of gags.
Yeah. Where
you want it to feel like every scene is fresh, but it's somehow connected. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's not just random.
Yeah. Basically, yeah, he's shooting. He's talking about cause they're in a screening room initially because he's talking about how they're shooting a commercial or whatever, and then it just jumps to them going to the sausage factory. Him and his wife.
Well, they shows her working too at the radio station.
Okay, actually,
I think. So we get both shots of both of them working basically. Doing their normal jobs. You know,
so then they go to the sausage factory, and basically this is the Jerry Lewis Ladies Man
homage.
Yeah, basically. Cause even then, you guys need to watch the Ladies Man first of all. It's great. It's great. Jerry Lewis does this for a lot of the movie, and it's unbelievable to watch, especially when it's just Jerry Lewis actually trying to make a normal movie. It's it's really interesting. This is already really interesting, and Godard's or not. It's not trying to be, the movie's not trying to be a normal movie, but having this in an actual a physical comedy movie is unbelievable. But yeah, Ladies Man's amazing. But yeah, they arrive at the factory and they have an appointment with the manager basically, and they go to the his office, and then it's revealed that the manager's trapped in the closet, and this manager, it's this manager's definitely a silent comedy person, a character in a way,
his gestures and stuff.
Yeah. kind of like comically like over the top in a way.
Yes. Yeah.
But because they're like wanting to interview him basically, and it's kind of like because I think this right around here is when we get the first like dollhouse shot, and then on the wall it says "Lock up the bosses, indefinite strike." And then we get like the manager's like we see it when the manager's like talking to the camera, and he's like talking about how like all the workers are like crazy and like this came out of nowhere. And like it's like and then he also like cuts to like other people like the workers like talking to the camera and like saying their side of it. It's like showing both sides like the manager of course like is like I didn't see any of this coming like this is really stupid. There's all these crazy people everywhere and like and it's like, and you like hear the workers like actually this sounds.
He
like
says
pretty...
the glaring injustice of a Marx and Engels day are over or something like that.
Yeah. It's like actually like pretty reasonable. I feel like
the boss.
Or no. I'm talking about the
that's
workers.
what the boss says.
Okay,
Yeah, he's like, the injustices of the past are over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But basically, yeah, there's basically conflict between the workers on how to handle the negotiations.
Oh,
basically.
between the workers.
Yeah. Because like this guy that like the first worker that talks to the camera, like
the steward.
You think it's like what's the guy? He's like some organization or something like that, or some like.
I know they interview the steward where he's kind of going against what the people are doing.
Yeah.
Like, the kidnapping and stuff.
Yeah, he's like, but he still is like kind of for the strike. I feel.
Yeah. That's where they're all part of the same union.
Yeah. Because then we also get like we get moments of like the workers like talking to like a worker will talk to the camera and like the narrator will respond with like their opinions on the matter.
Yeah.
Like it's interesting. But basically, yeah, they're basically trapped in this room with this manager. Basically, who's like going crazy pretty much, and like he's questioning, he's like accusing them of being leftist too. It's like kind of crazy, but we get like a great gag scene of the manager trying to use the bathroom.
Oh yeah.
Like this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is like kind of like a Jerry Lewis-esque gag, like trying to use the bathroom, but like no one's letting him in because like apparently like he doesn't usually let people go to the bathroom like barely. So like they're like it's like they're flipping it on his head pretty much.
No, this is one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
Like because when he's like when I work a 4-hour shift because they're like talking to the guy in the bathroom. He's like trying to hurry up.
Yeah, where he's like,
when I work a 4-hour shift, I'm allowed 2 5-minute breaks to piss.
No, but then after the next line is actually better, where he's describing, but he's like, but it takes me 4 minutes to walk here or something. So I'm always late. So I'm always getting docked for being late. It's like, damn, that's so relatable.
Honestly, it's basically they're like forcing that on the manager himself.
No, then he like runs down to a different.
No, he runs out to the people working and like he's asking to them, "Where's the nearest bathroom?" And like I think they point to like the one he just went to or something. Or he's like so bad too. It's so funny.
Because another one is like another guy tells him he's like, when I had to go and the foreman didn't let me go and he made me shit my pants, so you're gonna have to do that now too.
No, and you can tell he's like starting to get like more and more like he needs to go more and more, and it's so funny. It's funny. And then, like, basically, to piss, finally, he runs back to his office, breaks the window open, and pisses out the window. Which, I mean...
It's a funny shot with, like, the workers just watching him. Too.
Yeah, like, from the other side,
This would have been a great spot for this co-director to just put in the Alphaville occupied sound for every door goes to.
Oh, my God. Damn. But... Then we see a shot of like the manager, like it's like nighttime basically, and like the manager's like asleep on his desk at night. But then we see basically like there's like a group of like female workers talking about like basically like just talking about because I think Jane Fonda's talking to them, and they're like talking about how like basically how like the factory and like the manager like doesn't like. Basically, he's a dickhead to like girls who like need like who have like or just like I guess like, she's kind of talking about like just like the workforce in general, like how they treat women who have like kids and stuff, like being very like inconsiderate and like non-empathetic towards them, and there's like she's like talking to Jane Fonda at first, but then like eventually like she starts talking to the camera about it, which is really interesting. But then we get another shot of the manager being like really fucking stupid when he's like exercising in the office but like running in place or something. Like he's like not even like I think he's only moving his arms too.
Yeah, that's funny.
And it's like his shirt's like buttoned open. Like, it's hilarious. Then I think
the other guy's like making fun of him, calling him like, "You're a real athlete, aren't you?"
yeah. But yeah, we get like a guy like we see there's a great shot too where like the guy's like roller painting the wall.
I love this shot actually.
Yeah, and like and he like paints over like the picture of the factory.
Yeah.
It's so hard to pay attention to all the words happening in this scene, and like because there's 2 scenes of him painting the wall. I'm pretty sure.
Well, yeah.
Because it's just like I just want to watch him painting. Essentially, it draws my attention too much to actually read the subtitles of what they're talking about.
Yes, fair.
Especially the second part, because the second part actually does a really good shot. The second one.
No, yeah.
It's like the darker blue in the background. He's just
yeah,
painting
yeah.
it with a lighter blue in the middle.
Yeah. Well, I see. Honestly, like the.
It's so nice. It's just
I like
soothing.
watching. I
It's
like watching
soothing.
things being painted. Everyone likes watching things being painted. I feel like.
It's just soothing for some reason.
Well, yeah, definitely.
The blues also. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah. So then there's an intertile too around the scene where it's like stick to the truth even if it seems unlikely. And then basically
That's the door.
Is that
That's
oh,
on
the
the
door.
door,
Okay,
yeah.
actually, yeah. No, because the manager closed in on the
Yeah.
office. Yeah, he's like went to talk to someone.
I love it because some of the workers are like, "Open the door, we can't hear it." We can't hear what he's saying.
Because this is when because he takes the couple out. This is when they're like basically allowed to leave, but they like they kind of like just go around like listen to the like stories of the different workers basically.
No, because I think they stopped them. Like, you have to hear our side now.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something like
yeah.
that. And then that's one. This is like one of the best parts too, where they're like, we have to hear our conditions.
Yes, yeah.
And it goes to the different factory conditions.
Yeah, and like it cuts to them,
smell.
and like cuts to like how do you pronounce his name again?
Yves, I think. I don't know.
Montand, I should
Just say him.
The sniper from Le Cercle Rouge.
Okay, yes. Damn, okay.
Yeah, like cutting to like different parts of like
Is he working them? Yeah.
Yeah, he's like work. He's like a shot.
Because they're like complaining about the smell, the
Yeah.
transferring of the meat, the sausage room.
It is just like extremely depressing and funny
Yes.
to think of a woman having to work in these situations and then having to spend all her money on perfume to hide,
Yeah,
to hide
yeah,
the
that's
smell.
crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
Just like Jesus Christ.
It's also like this is part of like kind of like the point of the movie where he's basically like he has these big stars, but he forces them to listen to these like worker stories instead of like being like acting like in a normal movie basically. Like literally stopping them from like doing anything until they like listen to it. But I think we had a scene of the manager shaving, and then he gets a call saying he got fired.
He was like, "What?"
He's like I'm fired.
What?
But yeah, I think that's the last of like the factory scenes. Unless we come back, I don't think we did.
I don't think we. Yeah.
Because this is when they shoot the scene of them shooting.
That's where it
the
just
commercial.
feels so sudden. All of a sudden, there's
Yeah.
There's
I can see the.
back working. I guess maybe that's part of the movie. Like now they're back to their normal jobs or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's probably why I don't like as much as
They got the guy fired, so now they can work again.
I don't know if they were trying to get this guy fired though.
Yeah, they're
Maybe
trying to
that's
do
what the
it.
strike
It
was
just
for.
because it's all.
Wasn't the strike down with the boss? Something
I
like that.
guess. But do they even win the strike? We don't see what
I don't
happens.
know. Well, he gets
Yeah.
fired. So.
Well, you're gonna get fired.
But the strike is still going on when they leave.
It's true.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure. But yeah, either way, now they're just like back working.
This
This is another memorable scene.
Again,
I like this one too.
so there's more than
With the
three.
director. Yeah, more than three.
Oh,
More
yeah.
than three.
Oh, is
Yeah,
that
yeah,
with the
yeah.
long shot of just the woman dancing?
Yeah, or
through the
the
camera?
I just
camera,
like the
yeah,
shot.
through the camera. It's amazing.
I also just like the shot of the director and like just the straight on like shot of him with the outline around him.
of him talking to the camera.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's just a really good shot.
No. Yeah. Cause like it's a long shot. Basically, like the camera shooting their legs dancing. Basically,
Yes.
which is really interesting.
And this long ass scene of him being interviewed.
Like because there's two. Yeah, it's just back to back scenes of him being
Yes.
interviewed and her being interviewed.
Yeah.
I like the quote from him like, "Don't call me a commercial director. Call me a filmmaker that directs commercials."
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Yeah, like distinction is important.
Yes.
Yeah. Because he's like, yeah.
But then he says like, well, before 1968, I got tired of making art films. It's like basically this guy's Godard.
Yeah,
I guess.
basically
At least in this
Godard
scene.
stand-in. Yeah. Yeah, he's like I
Godard does have some commercials.
well, he does say in the scene, I figured it was more honest to make commercials than make a stupid film. So yeah, that's definitely something Godard would say. Like, but yeah.
So is it a good commercial or a bad commercial?
Godard's commercial that he actually
No,
shot?
this commercial.
Oh, this one?
It's
we never
bad.
see it, though, do we?
If it's just what they're shooting, it's bad. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
we're only seeing one shot.
Yeah,
We haven't seen the whole vision.
It might be the whole vision. You never know.
Has Jane Fonda in it?
The commercial itself?
No, the commercial doesn't.
I thought she was
Just has
dancing.
the
Was she not
legs.
dancing?
Was she
No,
one of the
she's
ones?
not in that.
I don't know why I figured I thought she was dancing.
No, she has her own job. It's like this radio broadcast.
No, yeah, I knew that. I guess that makes sense.
Why would she even be dancing in this?
That's why I don't know. Maybe, I'm misremembering.
She's a news reporter.
Okay, news reporter.
Or whatever.
Yeah, or like radio broadcaster, news reporter. Yeah. But yeah, basically, yeah. It starts out. She gets handed some like papers. I think. It's like some like rejection papers or something. I think we find out later. But she like rips them up, and then this is when she's. I don't know if is this a scene when she talks to the camera. I think this is it. Like she describes her job, and then she does like a radio broadcast.
Is this the scene where she's talking about how? Because it's a good scene because it's something that reporters go through a lot, where you're doing like these stories that every reporter does essentially. But then you actually hit a story like this, like with factory workers, that actually makes you care, and then whenever it gets rejected, it actually hurts because like this is something that actually matters essentially.
Yeah.
Because that part's not really cool, actually.
No, definitely.
I think that's the scene too that you're talking about.
I'm pretty sure. So because I think.
She says that her story got rejected.
Yeah. So yeah, she just ripped up the papers. But I think around here is when she goes. This is the apartment fight scene. That's like kind of similar to Contempt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously Contempt's better, but like, but it's definitely it feels like a kind of like a remix of that, or like an imitation of it.
I just don't even remember that scene you're talking about.
In Contempt?
But yeah, I remember
The apartment
I remember
fight scene in Contempt. That's like
it's
20 minutes long.
20 minutes long. Yeah.
You literally said during the episode that like Godard's in God mode in that scene. That's crazy. Like,
See, I'm having trouble.
They're having a fight in the
I'm having
apartment.
trouble remembering this scene.
she's
that
like
we're
in the
about to talk
bathtub
about.
during one part of like going around the apartment in Contempt.
The camera literally it's just like one shot basically,
Danny,
isn't it?
no way.
Yes. I can't remember.
Bro.
See, I remember that scene, but I can't. I'm having trouble remembering the scene that we're about to talk about.
Well, it's nowhere near as long as that scene. It's not as long as that. Cause like she's like mad. He's like mad at her like apparently like refusing sex last night or whatever. She's like talking about how she like has writer's block.
Okay, yes.
Now you remember the fucking apartment scene.
Like where they're in the bed and stuff?
That's one. They're like going around the apartment.
Yeah,
they're like using
they're-
he's using like every
Yeah.
instant.
It's like every room.
I need to rewatch this.
It's like that's amazing. I mean, I'll talk about it in a second. It's top tier Godard. I'll mention it in my rankings. We didn't do it, but I have
You
to.
can't
Like,
just, why did you not mention any of the other 60s ones then?
okay, I probably should because we did do those on the podcast.
Oh, those other three at least?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
We're
yeah, actually,
adding
yeah.
breathless, masculine, feminine. And
Yep, let's do it.
Contempt.
I'm down
Okay,
actually.
okay.
I mean, we might as well. I mean, great.
It's not that hard, really. It's like
It's not hard.
Yeah, fair enough.
it shouldn't be anyway.
Yeah.
To add in here.
But yeah, basically like, but I also it would make sense too though that this does feel more half-assed because they literally tell you at the beginning of the movie like, oh, there has to be a love story, so we have to put it in here. Like,
Yeah. But to me, even if you tell me, like, it still kind of feels kind of forced.
no, I can see that. Yeah. But yeah, we cut to we get to a great shot of Yves Montand. He's like smoking a cigarette. And he's like being photographed like in front of the skyline.
Mm.
But yeah, like while it's happening, we see like police storming protest, like police storming the protesters like in the street. And then because yeah, we see and then like the protesters find like someone dead in the pond basically. And then because we first see it outside. But then we see Jane Fonda running into it in the grocery store. That's when we see like the tracking shot, like the weekend desk like tracking shot.
It's pretty long too.
No, it definitely is. It's a good shot. Especially like the shots of like the aisles too are kind of crazy because like it has like all those like similar looking clothing like all in a line.
I just like watching it because it's just you're watching and you're like, this is so inefficient. I mean, they're good at their jobs, great at their jobs, great cashiers, but Jesus Christ.
Fair enough.
They had to like memorize the price for all this shit. There's
I
way.
couldn't do
No
that.
way.
Yeah, I couldn't do that shit.
No way. And then you have to manually enter it. Like Jesus Christ.
Maybe everything only had like 3 prices or something.
Yeah.
That's why things were so cheap back then.
Well, then everything becomes free in a second. So
Yeah, exactly.
I guess,
And Zemsky is part of the movement.
is.
Okay, yeah.
I like the quote that happens whenever they're about to come in because he's like they're just waiting for new actors to arrive or something
Okay,
about the shoppers.
Yeah. Because and then basically like someone just yells out. I think someone just yells out everything's free. And
Well, they're talking to that like communist
Or
that's
like
like
salesman?
like selling
Salesman
books
guy?
or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, defend your position.
Yeah, defend your
You
position.
can't even defend your first line.
And then they just start screaming, "Yeah, everything is free, everything is
Yeah,
free."
yeah.
But they just start a riot, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. And then like it basically just all in like one singular shot. Like the police come into frame and like just in the grocery store beating people. But yeah, we're into the end now.
Someone says like all films have an ending or something.
Well, no, yeah, all films have an ending. Him and her looking at each other and saying, "I was afraid you wouldn't come back." Then him looking worriedly at the other, replying, "You should have been." Yes, some films make the audience think that he and she solve one problem only to go on to the next, and that's how life is. But in this film, we leave him and her looking at each other wordlessly. Let's just say that he and she have started to think of themselves in a historical context. And I like during the this like voiceover, it's like a conversation between like two like voices basically, and like it shows you like it's like teasing like he's gonna run into her and like that's what's gonna happen, and then like oh no, he's gonna run into her, or no, she's gonna run to him, he's gonna run to her, but then basically like the ending is like them looking at each other wordlessly like. But yeah, and then like basically we get this like tracking shot of like the train, and he's like basically each his own historian, sometimes what's needed is a good kick in the ass. He like repeats some stuff too, but then the final like inner title says this has been an account for those who don't keep them, and that's like the end of the movie. So yeah, it's a pretty good movie. It's not one of my favorites for sure. But I do like I do find a lot of things interesting about it. So yeah, that's Tout Va Bien. The series is over now.
That's Godard.
No, wait, that's not Godard. Come on now.
All of Godard. No, I'm just kidding.
We have a lot. There's a lot more.
There is a lot more that we need to get to, honestly, especially late. But
yeah, it's kind of overwhelming in a way. You're like,
it is.
you feel like you just watched a ton of Godard, and it was like literally like it's like barely scratching the surface. It feels like. But yeah, hold on. I guess we can go ahead and get into the ranking here. So Danny, Danny, what's your ranking of the movies? You know, you're specifically like ranking.
Wait, I'm not ready. Wait, are you?
No, I was joking in a way, but like whoever's ready can.
I can do it first. It's fine.
Okay, hold on. Actually, I need time a little bit.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'll go through mine.
Well, do you have any thoughts? Like, has your list changed or anything?
Oh, it definitely has
Since we started
changed.
Let
the
me see if I
series?
even had a Jean-Luc Godard list on Letterboxd. I don't even know if I did. I did. Holy shit.
Oh, what? Damn, this guy. I have a list for even your haters.
Hell yeah. Well, whenever I've seen 20 films from him, but I'm ready if you guys are. I mean, my list definitely changes because I don't hate Alphaville anymore. But
Okay. Alright, I'm ready to. You guys should go first before.
definitely. No, yeah. So I will start our genre.
So you have Breathless. Okay, so you also have Breathless, Contempt, and
yes,
Master
I
of
have
Man.
these
Okay.
ones. Yes. Although if we were adding an image book and Goodbye to Language, they'd be up tippy top. But okay, we aren't doing that though. Okay, so very bottom, Tout Va Bien. Like I said at the beginning, it just bounced off me. Maybe I'll like it more the second time if I ever watch it. But 12th, Les Petites Soldats. Another one just kind of.
Those are my bottom two as well.
Yeah.
I might be for you as well, probably.
Les Petites Soldats I could definitely see growing on me again if I watched it though.
Okay.
Tout Va Bien I'm more unsure on if I like it. But 11, since we have to add it, Breathless. I don't love
you have
Breathless.
the same bottom three as me. What?
Oh,
what's going
you
on?
have Breathless bottom 3. I'm surprised.
I love
Breathless.
I'm
I
surprised.
love
That's
Breathless,
crazy.
but like I just like the other ones more.
I'm very surprised.
Like
that
okay,
you
if
put
someone
this
said
on.
Breathless was their favorite Godard, you would look at them weird.
But
Don't
it's still not that bad,
act
though.
like you
It's
would.
not that bad though.
I love Breathless. I just love all the other ones more.
That's crazy.
I love 10 Godards more than Breathless. There's a lot I love here, okay? We can't, like...
I've explained my distaste for Breathless before. Maybe if I watched it again after, like, what? We watched this, like, 3 years ago, and I haven't watched it since, so, I mean...
It was like two. It was like 2
2.5 or something, maybe. How many episodes are
it was
we?
a little over
120?
little over 2 years.
Oh, yeah, so, like, 2. Yeah, a little over 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe I like it more, but... 10 just because I haven't seen it in a long time also is masculine, feminine. That's number 10.
Definitely should rewatch it, though.
Number 9, also probably because I haven't watched it in a long time, is Contempt. So,
okay.
8 is where we start to get to more of the ones that we actually did in the series. A Woman is a Woman.
Okay.
7 is Weekend, which, like I said, I do think that one will rise whenever I watch it again. 6 is Alphaville, another one I think will probably rise if I watch it again.
Okay.
The comeback, the comeback.
It already is a huge riser. Pierrot Le Fou, number 5.
Okay.
That one I could see myself liking more than my next one. But my next one is Viva City, number 4. That one fell because that one used to be my favorite Godard.
Okay.
3 is Made in USA.
Okay.
And then my top 2 are really interchangeable. I love these movies the exact same. La Chinois and 2 or 3 Things I Know About Her.
Okay. Wait, which one's number 1 though?
Number 1, I have La Chinois, but
Okay.
number 2,
I like that. I mean, both.
but 2 or 3 Things I Know About Her is it's the exact same
Interesting.
level. So
Watching one number. I like that.
those are in a tier of their own, honestly,
Okay.
in my opinion. But
See, Danny, what's your ranking?
That's not a ranking. It's a tier list.
No, it's a
Tier
ranking.
list.
Anything you say, we're hanging with.
Everything is. Once I list a tier, it'll be alphabetical, so you'll not know.
Oh, come on.
we'll be able to.
we'll start with
He
the-
used to have more class than this.
He
Come
did.
on.
No, we'll start with the D tier. Tout Va Bien.
Okay.
There's a D tier.
Because technically it's not even Godard.
Okay.
really.
Yeah. Just not Godard tier.
The second is the C tier, which is Le Petite Soldat, Made in USA, and Weekend. Those 3.
I disagree with Made in USA, but
And Weekend.
and Weekend. Yes.
No, Weekend definitely. I was the borderline C. I'm like, okay, D, but it's.
Holy shit.
B tier is A Woman is a Woman, Breathless, and Masculine Feminine. Godard's A tier officially is Contempt, La Chinois, and Vivre sa vie.
Okay.
And then S tier is 2 or 3 Things I Know About Her, Alphaville, and Pierre Le Fou.
Okay. Pretty amazing. There's some wrong stuff about it. But...
Tiers are just more accurate at the end of the day. Like, Blake was struggling, like, oh, which is his favorite between La Chinois and... But it's the myth of one favorite.
Overall, I agree with tier rankings, but there you can easily have a number 1 in a tier.
You can. A director can have a number 1. They can easily have a best movie. And then everything else
I'm
could
falling
be bad.
more into the tiers
Like,
though,
who's
because
the-
John Woo, the Killer, and The Bear Tomorrow, I can't choose. So.
The Killer's not close.
I did dancing about
Yeah, but that point is like stands. So like, why does the director have to have their greatest movie? It makes no sense. It's like the myth of the one favorite.
This wishy-washy guy over here.
How is that wishy-washy? It's like it makes you have a false commitment. Now Blake's like, oh, see, La Chinois is his favorite, when really he's like, both of them are his favorite.
It's true. But it's fun.
But a director could, like the guy who directed La Haine.
It's kind of fun to.
Like he could easily have that. That's probably easily his best movie, if I had to guess. But
Does Kubrick have a clear best? I think he
no,
does.
he has like 5.
I think he has a clear
so...
best.
What?
Barry Lyndon.
No, 2001 is in the same tier though. You can't deny that.
But I think Barry Lyndon clear best though.
Stop. You're trying to be insulting.
Okay.
Like, it's like
Anyway.
Because
Just don't ask about
has
Blade
more
Runners.
than one S tier movie. I admit that.
No, he does.
Okay, yeah.
I admit that too.
I have 3 just from these,
I
but
have
like
2.
histories would be up there from what I've seen.
Histories. You like
Goodbye a Language, Image Book are probably both up there also, honestly.
I need to watch that.
Goodbye a Language for sure.
But yeah. I'm gonna do my list.
No,
Yes.
Luke's ranking.
Yeah, ranking.
What's your number 1? What's Godard's best movie without a bullet? You can't deny it.
I'll get to it.
You can't.
Number 13, Le Petit Soldat. Number 12, Tout Va Bien. Number 11, Breathless. So the same, basically, bottom three. Is,
Okay,
like,
the Bresson influence alone on Little Pink Till Bad, you can't be that low.
This guy.
Bresson liked it.
It's still a really good movie. It's still a good movie.
Below top.
Below a movie that Godard didn't even direct.
I don't know. Maybe if I watch it again. I don't know.
It's got some good moments. And Anna Karina. It's like the first Anna Karina movie.
It has some amazing moments.
There's better movies, though. There's better movies out there.
Oh,
From
yeah.
Godard.
You're about to list them.
Yeah, I'm about to list
That's
them.
why I interrupted you.
Yeah. Number 11, Breathless. Number 10, Omen is a Woman. Basically from Breathless on, I love all these movies, which is crazy. Number 9, Made in USA. Number 8, Two or Three Things I Know About Her.
Damn.
Damn.
I flinched when I said that.
That's crazy.
Okay,
That's
like from here on out, it's 5 stars.
No.
Though. It's 5 stars for me.
I disagree.
So
Wait,
it's like a 4.5.
I'm kind of surprised 2 or 3 Things isn't 5 for you, honestly.
Wait, what are the
Maybe
fives?
if I watch it
Let's see
again.
these fives.
Number 7, Masculine Feminine. That was like my first Godard movie that clicked with me.
Yeah, I remember that.
So that was like my favorite to begin with. Number 6, Weekend.
Ugh, that's not a 5-star Godard. That's crazy.
Number
It
5.
could be.
Number 5, Vivre sa vie. Number 4, Alphaville. Number 3, Pierre Le Fou. Number 2, Contempt. And number 1, La Chinoise.
Okay.
La Chinoise
Okay,
didn't
no,
change.
must have-
I agree with them.
Yeah, Contempt is definitely
Contempt.
top tier for me. Like, Contempt's amazing. But yeah, Histoire would be up there. Probably top 5. But anyway, yeah, that's early Jean-Luc Godard. Next week we are doing a trivia episode.
Trivia.
We haven't like fully decided.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we're gonna figure it out.
So it's involving a wheel of some kind.
And some and some stuff.
And a punishment.
Yeah, punishment for sure. We've brainstormed some good punishment movie ideas.
This wheel's gonna be real cool for our non.
At the end of the day, if the trivia thing doesn't work, we'll just do a random number generator and figure out who has to do a punishment. If worse comes to worse.
Danny has not done a punishment movie yet. We've done 2 of them, and Danny hasn't like actually.
It should stay that way.
So it should just be like we should just like
No,
default to
no,
him.
no.
shouldn't
I
we?
kind of agree with this.
Yeah,
I've drawn
2
the
out of
short
3.
star.
We vote for it.
I've drawn the short
Chance.
star.
Majority.
twice.
We follow chance wherever it takes us.
Oh, okay. There's no such thing as chance. According to Will. See, you're wrong.
It's fate. It's my fate to watch all these shit movies. Apparently,
Yes. Damn, we don't know the movie.
Dude, oh, it's
Wait.
so funny if Blake got it again.
it will happen
Yes.
again because
Yeah,
that's my
hopefully.
fate. So
Let's go.
Okay.
That's why we're
Can't
doing
change.
it. But yeah.
It's a good thing too because I'm
Well,
the one.
study
I'm the
up-
one, I'm
study
the
up
one
then.
most
Yeah,
accepting.
yeah.
I'm the one most accepting of shitty movies.
Get your ball knowledge up.
Yeah,
you
steady
know?
up.
If you're nowhere, you'll do well. You won't have to watch it.
We're gonna go dumpster diving.
Yeah, but anyway, thanks for watching. Hope to see you floating through the clouds.
J'appelle dans le vide, je t'appelle au milieu de ma nuit. Mes mots s'en vont rapides, iront-ils jusqu'à toi aujourd'hui? Allô, allô, tu m'entends? Est-ce qu'il fait beau temps là-bas sous ton ciel? Ici, même sous la pluie, l'odeur me poursuit d'un peu d'estérel. Je suis dans la cabine, enfermé dans la cage de verre. Et toi, je t'imagine dans un bar qui s'ouvre sur la mer. Allô, allô, tu m'entends? Comment vont Laurent, Jean-Luc et Joël? Dis-moi, tes amis vont-ils toujours près des îles pêcher les girelles? Ça nous fait 4 unités.
Alors vous voudriez, oui.
Chaque mot nous est compté. J'appelle sans relâche, réponds-moi, dis que s'est-il passé? Est-ce que toi me caches, ce soir avec qui vas-tu danser? Allô, allô, tu m'entends? Est-ce que tu m'attends? Ta bouche est-elle? Allô, tu parles trop bas, seras-tu là-bas si je te rappelle? Il faut que je te quitte, d'autres gens s'impatientent dehors. Je t'ai parlé trop vite, je ne t'ai presque rien dit encore. Allô, allô, tu m'entends? Dehors, les chansons pressées. Dans cette course de fou, le monde se fout.